Hey there internet, Johnny B here. As you can tell from the fact that A, my arm is going out of the frame, and B, I'm just sitting in my dorm room, this is gonna be a little bit more chill of an episode because it's late on Friday evening. I would just kind of like to get this done. I had an idea, it didn't work out well, so this is just kind of a filler episode. You may think that's a tragedy, but hey, Avatar: The Last Airbender, probably the best animated television show that's ever been made, had plenty of filler episodes, so why can't I? Life Unedited. Hey, so this seems like just as good a time as any to mention the fact that if you would like your voice / your little intro songy thing to go over my intro, that's why it's there. No one ever sends me voice submissions, and so I just have to make up my own voices. So, if you would like to be involved, post a link down below or tweet at me a video or something of yourself saying Life Unedited. And if you want to, because of my new intro, you could also incorporate like a little song-ish thing. That would be great, and I'll be super appreciative. So, what are we talking about today? Well, conflict, which is a difficult thing to talk about sometimes, which is why it causes conflict. You see, we live in a world today where pretty much anyone can have an audience who listens to what they say via social media, and in principle, I think that's pretty cool because I am all for people being able to say what they believe and all of that. The problem is that a lot of people who are not experts on anything whatsoever now have all of these people who essentially treat them as experts. And so we have all these little base camps of people that come up all over the place, of people who think, oh my gosh, this person has such a good point, I will never think about the world the same way again. Oh, you disagree with them? Death to you and all of your children and your family and your children's children's family's children. And sometimes, yes, there are legitimately decent things that we should get upset about, and even people who aren't experts have genuinely decent things to say about those issues. But the problem is when we don't think about it and differentiate the one from the other. You see, there's something that's been happening on social media recently, and I won't go into any specifics, but it involves coffee, two-tailed mermaids, the color red, and end of the year holiday called Christmas, and a lot of people who are apparently super angry about maybe the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. However, I was thinking about that and in fact reading on my Facebooky page, and someone posted this thing that pointed out that there aren't that many people we actually see who are all up in arms about the whole Starbucks cups thing. You all knew what I was talking about anyway, I'm just gonna say it. In reality, we're actually having conflict about the fact that there's some perceived conflict, and that in and of itself has become the conflict. It's utterly ridiculous when you think about it because the percentage of people who are actually upset by the Starbucks cups is like 0. And we all know that that's ridiculous if they actually are. But the percentage of people who are upset about the people who are upset about it is pretty stinking high. And if I'm being totally honest, I'm one of those people. It's frustrating to me. But I think it's just one of those things that we need to let go. And I don't know if there's really a point to this whole video, but I guess I've just realized how important it is to think very carefully about what is worth getting up in arms about. I am not denying that there are important, serious issues in the world, and I wish that people were a lot more vocal and a lot more informed about those issues. Politics. Instead of just like venting their mind vomit all over the internet for everyone to see and get all up in arms about. But really, I think the key is people just need to think. Before you correct someone else, think about whether or not you're actually being self-consistent, because that's really hard to do. Make sure that you have information right. Be willing to listen to other people because they might have something decent to say that could change your mind. And overall, just be nice. Even if you ultimately end up disagreeing with someone, it's gonna go a lot farther if you just treat them like a normal human being than if you disparage them and try and beat them into the ground to try and make your point. I wasn't even really intending to make like steps to avoiding conflict, but I guess those are 4 decent ones. Let me know down in the comments section what's your favorite drink from Starbucks, because I don't want to start a comment war. And until next week, deuces.